Man, it's been a very rough day, guys. Honestly, to just try and fire this video up, it was even, wow. We have breaking news in the NBA, everybody. Victor Wembanyama is expected to miss the remainder of the regular season through to what appears to believe, I was trying to pronounce it right, a deep vein thrombosis in the right shoulder. Anybody that's a doctor out there, can you let me know what this means? This, I don't even know, like, I'm just shook, bro. Like, I don't have no, like, type of, like, and then you scroll up some more. Shams said, Wembanyama has a form of blood clot in the right shoulder, and he is out for the season, bro. And the Spurs believe it's an isolated condition, which means that it's something that just, I'm assuming popped up out of nowhere. The last thing that I remember of an NBA player that had a blood clot, if you guys remember who Chris Bosh is, Hall of Famer, All-Star, played for the Heat, played for the Raptors, and that ended off the season. Now, Bosh was, up there in age. He was close to retiring, but, bro, a blood clot, this is something where it's literally a life-threatening type of, like, condition, bro. It just, I don't know what causes them. I mean, I've known a little bit what can cause a blood clot, like off the rip. Like if, like, let's say if you get a blood clot in your leg from like not sitting up properly or crossing your legs. I know of forms of those types of blood clots. But in the shoulder, I honestly didn't even know you can get a blood clot in the shoulder, man. I'm honestly sorry for the low energy right here. I just don't know what to say, man. Like, this is just shocking, bro. It's kind of scaring me right now because I hope this is not, like, career-threatening, dog.
Hey guys,
You have Shams right here, can explain.
From the All-Star game this past weekend in San Francisco, and he was diagnosed with a form of a blood clot. It's called a deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder, and he is out for the season. And the Spurs right now believe that this is an isolated condition, that there's one form of a blood clot in that right shoulder of his that will sideline him for the remainder of the season. The hope, obviously, is that there's no spread, that there's nothing more here.
That's the thing that gets dangerous about it that I forgot, bro. Like, the blood clot apparently, like, spreads and it can get to the heart, bro. That's just, we don't ever want to even think that far, but it's just like, this is just making it scary, bro. This is like, you know what I'm saying? This is beyond basketball, bro. I don't care if you're not a fan of Wembanyama, bro. Like, you show some respect, man. Send your prayers out to Wemby. Send your prayers out to his family, bro. Like,
and that he's going to be ready to go for the offseason and for the 2025-2026 season. But he, of course, is in a tremendous season so far, and the Spurs had aspirations to contend for a playoff berth, a play-in tournament berth, but that has taken a back seat to this health issue, a health scare that has taken place here with Victor Wembanyama. And obviously we know Greg Popovich remains out indefinitely with a stroke that he had earlier in the season.
Bro, oh my gosh. I didn't know Greg Popovich even had that. I'm actually glad I continued watching the video, bro. Yo, prayers to Greg Popovich, too. I didn't even know that, dog. Yo, and by the way, obviously, you know what I'm saying? We say what we say and stuff, but we don't really mean harm and stuff. Bro, like, because, when Wemby doesn't play a certain amount of minutes we was on, bro, I did not even know that. Popovich, sending my full prayers. Holy shit, man. Like, gosh, man. It's just sad, man. You have, Wemby out and you have Popovich out, bro. Like, I didn't even know about the Popovich thing. Why wasn't the Popovich thing, like, super, like, on the news? Like, and that's all the news on Shams. We have some more other clips over here. CP3 reacting to it. And then TNT.
Victor Wembanyama will be out for the rest of the season after it was revealed that he had a blood clot in his right shoulder. And the cause for concern came during All-Star weekend when Wemby had extremely low energy, and then on his 2-day holiday after that as well, had really low energy. So that's when they knew something was wrong, and they found that blood clot in his shoulder, which means... he will be ineligible to win Defensive Player of the Year. He was a heavy favourite for that, and obviously not be eligible for All-NBA or NBA Defensive Team honours, which really sucks for Wemby in his second season. Obviously, he's going to win a lot of those awards, but hoping for a quick recovery for him. But here's what Chris Paul had to say about it.
Reaction when you guys found out about Wemby?
It's tough more than anything. I think for all of us, knowing how much he means to our team, but more so knowing how much he means to the game and how much he loves to play. So.
Have you been able to talk to him since he found out about this? And so, what's kind of his outlook?
Yeah, but that's for us. You know what I mean? I talk about it all the time. He one of the best humans I ever met, in this league for a long time. So I think for us, we just, more than anything, we probably just miss him being around.
Is there concern, obviously, for his health with this diagnosis?
We don't know so much. Like, we were here too, just like you guys. You know what I mean? So.
Knowing how he is as a person, how do you expect him to kind of take this recovery process and handle his news?
I mean, Vic is 21. You know what I mean? So I know for me at that age, you can't imagine not playing and missing.
Bro, and that's the thing, bro. Like, I didn't even know you could get a blood clot that young, bro. Like, I'm learning new things every day they don't even be teaching you in school. I didn't know it was even possible to get any type of health condition like that until you, like...
A game or anything like that. So I think he'll attack recovery as well as you possibly can.
You guys teams have dealt with season-ending injuries, guys. Starts like this. What is some of the keys as a veteran leader to kind of get the guys?
First and foremost, I think everybody understands that, basketball is what we do, not who we are. So life and everything is so much more important. But for us, we know losing a big part of our team like that is by committee. And trust me, you can't replace Vic. I can't stand on a guy's shoulders and block every shot that comes to the rim. And aside from his basketball ability, his charisma and what he brings into the locker room, I think is what we'll miss the most.
Can you put into words the adversity? I mean, first pop, now Wemby is done. Wild ride.
Man, it's been extremely tough, to tell you to say the least. Especially with this organization and how they put everything into perspective. So obviously the Pop situation, knowing what he means to the league, Vic, and him playing his first All-Star game. I think for us, we know we got a job to do, but just like anybody, we worry about our people.
Chris, this is a young group who now was expected to make a push for the playoffs with Pop, with Wemby. Do you have to now take even a greater role than you already have vocally to kind of corral this?
No, I don't think about that by any means. Everybody's dealing with it the same way, in different ways and whatnot. But like I said, we still got a job to do. We got a big game tonight here. Of course, just like any team, we got a team group chat and all that different type of stuff. But we got a job to do tonight.
And this team still make postseason?
That's the plan. That is absolutely the plan. That didn't change. And I know Vic, I know Pop, they wouldn't have it any other way.
How and when did the guys find out?
We talked about it as a team this morning. Honestly, all those different details, it's irrelevant. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's been a little bit tough for everybody.
How do you talk through getting this news and working through it for the rest of the season? Some of the younger guys who haven't really experienced some of this kind of stuff.
You listen, right? You talk. A lot of us are together more than we're actually with our own families, right? So we become a family. So you keep things in perspective as far as life and what it means. But when the game comes around, like I said, we got a job to do. That's a time for us to get everything off of our mind, actually, so that we can compete and play this game that we love.
Safe to say, Mitch, handle this news like he has everything else this season.
Man,
Carry on.
It's wild to think, the circumstances and the situations that we've been through as a team this year. But I think you guys know when situations happen in your family and stuff like that, somehow, some way, it brings you closer. And so.
Hey, man, shout out to CP3, man. Man, this is some tough news, guys. I'm not even going to lie to y'all, man. Let's see what Shaq and Chuck have to say.
You just hate to hear that for this guy who loves the game so much, who's made such an impact so early, and I think to All-Star Weekend, I was on the Technology Summit panel. He was on my panel. I got a chance to talk to him there. Met his dad that day. And then all of a sudden, this happens.
Well, number one, just wish him good health. And I'm not going to try to play a doctor on television. That's got to be scary when you get that news. Got a chance to see his mom at the All-Star game. But I feel bad for the Spurs organization also because, you're right. When they went out and made that De'Aaron Fox trade, you're like, man, this team, they're not going to win the championship, but they could get into the play-in because De'Aaron Fox is a perennial All-Star. But I just wish him nothing but the best. But this is a bad look. This is just a bad thing for the Spurs, for the NBA.
Yeah.
When he played over in Paris, man, it was crazy, those 2 games. So good luck to him and his family.
According to my doctor friends, it's common for guys that are very large, especially guys that are very tall, especially with all the flying we do. But one thing I know about the NBA, especially the Spurs organization, they have the top medical people. And I'm glad they just found it. Chuck makes a great point. It's scary. This is something that you can possibly not wake up from. So I'm glad they found it. And I'm glad they're, taking control of the situation. And, even though they can make a push of the plan, they're saying, nope, we're shutting you down the whole year. We're going to treat this thing. We're going to make this thing disappear. And my sentiments go out to him and his family. He's a great.
Man, Shaq did make a good point right there, man. It's shout out to the trainers and stuff like that for not trying to push Wemby to bro, you gotta play. You know what I'm saying? You're about to win these awards. We're about to make the playoffs for the first time since 2007. And it's just, man, oh my gosh, man, it's just tragic, man. prayers to Wemby, man.
Kid, someday he will be the face of the league, but he's 21 years old, and I'm just glad they caught it early, and I'm glad the Spurs organization said, hey, we love you enough to say, forget making a push for the playing game. We care about you. We know you're our future. We're shutting this thing down the rest of the year.
Well, it's
Hey, man, I think that's the best thing to end off on, man. Prayers to Wemby, man, and prayers to Popovich, man. Just absolutely terrible news nobody should be able to and should not hear, man. Shit.